All right, so here we are with another episode on our survival seed. So I'm picking up where I left off last time with the castle. I hadn't made too much progress on it since the last one. The main goal was to clear out some of the dirt from the bottom. This castle, unlike the last one where it's pretty much on the same plane as the village, this one is actually accidentally set in a little bit deeper, so there's eventually going to be a lot of dirt and terraforming I'm going to have to do to kind of make it look all right. You can sort of see it the further back into the castle that we get the hills around the mountains kind of get a little bit higher, so eventually I'm hoping that I'll get my beacon kind of set up at some point. I have to, destroy a wither and get enough iron for the beacon, but I'm hoping that I'll be able to do that before I do the major terraforming. This was kind of an interesting issue that I ran into because when I originally built this or designed this on a creative world, I didn't fully design the castle because it was made on like a flat world because I didn't know how to copy over the versions. I edited the way I designed the back because I thought while I was doing it in hardcore mode it looked kind of funny, so I changed it. But because I died in my hardcore mode world, I couldn't go back and fix it, so I was kind of stuck with it. So that was disappointing, but I was able to, thankfully, because I have YouTube, look back at some of the videos and get a general idea of what it looked like before the seed was destroyed. I did remember that I needed to get some dark oak wood for kind of the sections in between my copper roof. So I popped onto my roof and headed over to a dark oak forest that I found on my Minecraft seed map, and it spawned me on top of this tree, and so I cleared up this tree because I didn't want my thing to have a difficult exit. I wanted to be on the main level. I also got lucky because this one was next to a birch and a spruce forest, so I'll have to remember that when I go and need those ones. I was a little upset with the fact that it was nighttime when I got there because all of these mobs just kept popping in and out, and it was just giving me such a hard time trying to rebuild everything and get all the stuff I needed because everything just kept on breaking. They would pop up behind me. I also only had a couple of torches, but it just seemed like they were just coming out of nowhere, and it was the dead of night, and I had destroyed my portal, so I couldn't leave because there was no way for me to get back, and yeah, it was quite a bit of an issue. While I'm trying to rebuild this portal, please leave a like and subscribe. Let me know if there's any additional suggestions. You'll see it later in the video, but I sort of made a temporary bootleg copper farm, so if you guys have any suggestions for that, let me know, because the roof for the castle, because I made it slightly larger than I originally planned, I presently don't have enough copper for it, so I'm going to have to find a way to do it, or go mining and hope that I find a copper vein. I don't know what is the best way to do it. As you can see, these zombies were getting really annoying because every time I tried to go and do something, they would take me out. I also, after this whole situation, I completely forgot to get the dark oak saplings, so I actually had to turn around and come back and get it. Creepers popping up everywhere. I just wanted to light my portal, and I just wanted to get out of there. I took off the fog for Nether or my videos. Because that was suggested when I kept getting lost in on the nether roof when I was wandering around. It was like, oh, you should turn off fog so you don't get lost, and it generally normally helps. Although for some of the seeds, you can sort of see it, the little blue spots of ice. That portal is way out there, and that's because I put the location for the dark oak forest wrong, so it took me a lot longer to find it. This is the same styled roof that I did in my hardcore world. It's pretty much the only roof that I know how to do. Later on, not in this video, I think it'll be in the next one, I started working on putting little, not cake toppers, but roofs to the four cornered towers, and I had a really hard time getting them proportioned right. They just looked so funny. I just had a hard time kind of envisioning it, because at the time I didn't know how to copy over my world so that I could make it in creative and kind of use like Matica and stuff. I have looked into it, so we're getting there. I also, because I didn't make the whole castle in the creative world when I was doing hardcore, I couldn't remember the exact dimensions that I did for the glass section of the roof, so it's not exactly how it was before, but it's kind of getting there. One thing that I don't understand is how my mason ended up on that roof. I have a set of scaffolding, but I didn't realize that villagers could go up scaffolding. Is this like, I know creepers can go up scaffolding, or maybe it's ladders that creepers can go up, but either way, I just was wandering around and I looked out and all of a sudden I was like, wait, what are you doing there? And so he stayed up there for a very long time. He had, at some point, I don't know when, but he locked on-to the bed that was over by where I was set up, because I placed a bed by the castle, so I wouldn't have to walk all the way back over to the little villager house that I've taken on. But at some point he locked onto it, and it became quite a pain. And then one day when I went to go use him, he was gone, and so I had to get a whole new one. This is a zombie spawner that I ended up finding. It's pretty far down because there's like deep slate. I'm deep enough for diamonds, I'll put it that way. And so I grabbed all the stuff that I could from these chests, but I'm not, and I used the zombie spawner to make drowns to get copper, which is how most copper farms work, in the way that they're getting copper from drowns, but not using zombie spawners like I am right here. I made the water kind of a longer trail, and this one worked better. I later on went in and tried to make it one where I could just AFK at it and just it would automatically be producing copper, but it doesn't quite work, and eventually I'll probably have to find a nice tutorial on how to do it. I did knock this out and this little guy popped out, and so I was quite nervous about that, but I was able to kind of get it to work, and I got some copper from it. They aren't rates to write home about, I'll put it that way. The biggest thing I ran into was the fact that they kept forgetting that I was there, and I don't know if it was because my distance was wrong or what, but it was a real pain to try and get them to get close enough for me. I do have I have hoppers all the way back 4 spots, so that if they drop something further back, I can get it. This is where the castle is right now. I have the lava in these kind of side towers for the entrance part, but I eventually swapped that out for other stone based off of the video design that it was kind of going off of. I might add lava in a different aspect, mainly because of lighting, but I'm just trying to get as much of the dirt cleared out without having to have a whole beacon. The roof that you see overhead is pretty much all of the copper that I had at the time. And at the time it was also all DH'd. So now I have to slowly work my way through that. But anyways, let me know what you guys think down below, and I will see you all next time. Thanks. Bye.